Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. But today, we explore the path of the ninja. There is a man who knows everything. He has read every book on discipline. He has watched every video on productivity. He has taken courses on stoicism, strategy, leadership, and war. He can quote Musashi. He can explain Sun Tzu's water principle in 3 sentences. He knows the difference between SHUHARI and ZANSHIN. And he has done nothing, not one thing, not a single real-world action that required pain, risk, or consequence. He is a library, a beautiful, organized, completely unexecuted library, and he calls it growth. You're not behind because you lack information. You're behind because you're addicted to the feeling of almost knowing enough, almost ready, almost prepared, almost there. The intellectual glutton does not fear failure. He fears the moment he has no more preparation left as a reason not to begin. That is the real addiction, not knowledge. The feeling that knowledge gives him permission to wait. There is something the Shinobi clans understood about the mind that modern men have completely forgotten. A truth so severe that it separated warriors from scholars for 300 years. They called it the poison of suspended action, and it will be revealed to you at the end of this lesson. But first, understand what you have become. You open another book at 11 at night, not because you are hungry for ideas. Because opening a book feels like doing something. The lamp throws long shadows across the desk, stacks of annotated pages, color-coded highlights, notes inside notes. The room smells of coffee gone cold hours ago, the kind of cold that tells you the night escaped you again. Outside, the city breathes without you. Somewhere, a man with less information is executing. He is making mistakes. He is adjusting. He is moving. And you are annotating his future competition. This is the diagnosis. You have mistaken the map for the territory. You have confused studying the sword with drawing the blade. Contrast and internal enemy. In feudal Japan, a scholar was respected. A warrior was feared. The difference was not intelligence. Both men could read strategy. Both men knew the mechanics of movement. The difference was what they did the moment the lesson ended. The scholar returned to his scrolls. The warrior returned to the ground. Knees in the dirt, hands on the weapon, body in the cold. The Shinobi clans did not produce scholars. They did not produce thinkers. They did not celebrate the man who could explain the most. They produced executors, men and women who could receive one instruction in absolute silence and carry it to completion before the thought had finished forming. The modern man believes his problem is motivation. He believes that if he finds the right mindset, the right morning routine, the right framework, action will naturally follow understanding. The Shinobi knew better. Action does not follow understanding. Action is the understanding. The body learns what the mind only pretends to. You do not understand the blade until you have been cut by it. You do not understand fear until you have acted despite it. You do not understand discipline until you have chosen it when every nerve in your body begged for comfort. The intellectual glutton has reversed the entire architecture of growth. He is building a house from the roof down, and every new book he reads adds another floor above him, while the foundation remains sand. Confront the architecture. The Shinobi clans did not operate on inspiration. They operated on systems. 3 ancient systems that together form the most psychologically precise warrior philosophy ever constructed. Not for samurai on open battlefields. Not for shoguns in fortified castles. For men and women who needed to function with perfect precision inside total darkness, inside chaos, inside fear, inside absolute uncertainty. Tonight, those 3 systems are yours, SHUHARI, the ice of a frozen river at dawn, the crack of it beneath weight, the flow of water finding its own course beneath. These are not metaphors, these are instructions. Shu, obey. The young shinobi entered training in darkness, literally. The first weeks of ninjutsu conditioning took place before sunrise, in mountain air, so cold it felt like swallowing iron filings. They were not asked why. They were not given reasons. They were given a form, a stance, a breath pattern, a strike sequence. And they repeated it until the body stopped asking questions. The modern intellectual glutton skips Shu entirely. He finds the rule book and immediately begins critiquing the rules. He takes a framework and immediately asks whether the framework is optimal. He reads the first chapter and begins constructing a rival philosophy. He has never obeyed long enough for his body to understand what he is criticizing. The Shinobi master who constructed the Shu stage understood something fundamental about human neurological architecture. The body cannot build on abstraction. It can only build on repetition, not thinking about the same movement, performing the same movement until it no longer requires thought, until the hand moves without command, until the step falls without decision, until the breath steadies without instruction. This is what the modern man calls boring. The shinobi called it the only foundation that does not collapse under pressure. Obey before you question. Break. After months, sometimes years, of flawless Shu obedience, the shinobi was given permission to fracture, not abandon, fracture, to take the form and bend it against an adversary who had not read the same scroll, to discover where the rule held, and more importantly, where it shattered. This was not rebellion. This was stress testing. In the mountain dojo, the sound of two bodies testing the edge of form fills the cold air. The slap of bare feet on stone, the grunt of impact absorbed, the sharp exhale of a technique executed a half second. Too late. No one spoke of what was learned. The body already knew. The intellectual glutton believes he is in hay. He believes his podcast discussions, his philosophical debates, his margin notes constitute breaking the form. They do not. Ha requires that you take the form into contact with real resistance, real failure, real consequences. You cannot break what you have never fully built. You cannot test a wall you have only ever read about. The Ha stage is not intellectual divergence. It is physical and social and professional collision. It is the business started and failed. It is the conversation attempted and rejected. It is the body pushed until the framework either survives or surrenders. Break under real pressure. Transcend. The shinobi who reached Rai was invisible. Not literally, though that too, but invisible in a deeper sense. He had internalized the system so completely that the system no longer existed as a thing he followed. He simply moved. He simply acted. He simply was. There is a documented account of a senior shinobi instructor who could infiltrate and exit a guarded perimeter in total darkness through a patrol of 12 men without triggering a single alarm. When asked how he planned the route, he paused. He said, "I did not plan, I moved." Not arrogance. Truth? At Rai, thought and action occupy the same moment. The gap between knowing and doing has been closed so completely that it ceased to exist. The man consuming his 43rd book on discipline is at negative Shu. He has not yet begun. Close the gap completely. The second protocol is ZANSHIN, remaining mind. Not vigilance, not caution, not anxiety dressed as awareness. ZANSHIN is the quality of presence in a warrior who has finished his technique and not yet claimed victory. In shinobi practice, ZANSHIN was trained through a specific and brutal exercise. A student would complete a perfect sequence: strike, evasion, silent exit. And in the moment of completion, another student concealed in the room would release a throwing weapon, not to injure, to test. The student who relaxed the moment the sequence ended was struck. every time. The lesson was precise. The moment you believe you have arrived is the moment you become vulnerable. The intellectual glutton has an inverted ZANSHIN. He has complete awareness during consumption, alert, engaged, absorbing. He highlights, he annotates, he synthesizes. Then the book closes, and the awareness sleeps. He does not carry the lesson into the next hour, into the next decision, into the conversation that would have required him to use what he just read. He reads about courage and then avoids the difficult email. He studies negotiation and then accepts the first offer. He absorbs philosophies of presence and then immediately drowns in distraction. ZANSHIN says, "The technique is not finished at the end of the movement. It is finished when the situation is resolved." You do not finish learning discipline by finishing a book about discipline. You finish it by making the disciplined choice the next time the undisciplined option appears. Maintain awareness after the lesson. The shinobi who mastered ZANSHIN could hold the mind in a state of open, relaxed alertness for hours. No internal monologue, no rehearsal of the past or projection into the future. Only the present environment received, fully, without filter or interpretation. In the long grass of a mountainside ambush position, a shinobi could remain motionless for 6 hours. The damp of the ground seeping through the woven fabric of his shinobi shozoku, the sound of insects, the distant creak of a castle gate, the almost imperceptible change in wind direction that told him sentries were moving. He was not waiting, he was present. Waiting is passive. Presence is active stillness. The difference is everything. Practice active stillness. The third and most severe protocol, KANCHO, literally infiltration intelligence. The art of spending more time in silent observation before a mission than in the mission itself. This sounds like the intellectual glutton's paradise. More preparation, more information, more watching before acting. It is the opposite. KANCHO was not about consuming information. It was about allowing all non-essential information to fall away until only the single decisive entry point remained. A shinobi assigned to a castle infiltration would spend days observing, not cataloging everything he saw, discarding everything that did not matter. The number of torches, irrelevant after the third night. The patrol rhythm, mapped and forgotten once memorized. The guard's personal habits, noted and categorized by vulnerability. Every hour of observation was an hour of ruthless elimination. Until what remained was one path, one window, one moment, one action. The intellectual glutton observes and accumulates. The KANCHO-trained shinobi observes and subtracts. This is the mechanical difference between a man with 10,000 notes and no direction and a warrior with one clear target and total commitment. You do not need more information. You need to subtract until only the irreducible action remains. What is the one thing, if you did only that, that would make the most significant difference in your life within the next 30 days? Not 10 things, not a system, not a framework. 1. If you cannot answer that question in 12 seconds, you have been accumulating without subtracting. You have been filling the vessel. But KANCHO says the vessel must be emptied of everything unnecessary before it can carry anything essential. Subtract until one action remains. Why does the intellectual glutton exist? Not because he is lazy. Lazy men do not read 3 books a week. Lazy men do not maintain detailed note systems and philosophy journals. He exists because the modern information environment has made the feeling of progress completely available without the risk of real progress. Every book he finishes rewards him with completion. Every course he completes gives him a certificate. Every concept he masters produces a chemical response in the brain indistinguishable from real accomplishment. His nervous system cannot tell the difference between understanding and doing. It only measures the feeling. and reading about doing feels almost as good as doing, with none of the failure, rejection, or discomfort. This is not a motivational problem. This is a neurological hijack. The brain's reward system was designed for a world where information immediately preceded action. You learned where the prey was, you hunted. You learned where the enemy was. You fought or fled. The gap between knowledge and action was measured in minutes. Now the gap is measured in years, or never. And the brain, rewarded for the consumption of information regardless of application, keeps consuming. The Shinobi clans did not reward knowledge. They rewarded mission completion. No Shinobi was praised for knowing the castle layout. He was praised for returning from inside it. The internal architecture of the Shinobi training system was built around a single, brutal truth. The only proof of understanding is execution. Everything else is rehearsal. The only proof is execution. Stop. You are halfway through this video, and you have already decided what you will do when it ends. You will watch another video, or you will save this one, or you will share it with someone who needs it more than you. You will not act, and you know this about yourself. That is the most uncomfortable truth available to you right now. Here is the poison of suspended action the Shinobi clans identified 300 years ago. It is this: every time you consume wisdom without acting on it, you do not stay the same. You move backward. Because the neural pathway that connects insight to action atrophies. Just like muscle, each unconverted lesson makes the next conversion harder. Each book closed without application slightly thickens the wall between your intelligence and your life. You are not neutral when you do not act. You are building the cage that will eventually hold you so completely that action feels impossible. The Shinobi apprentice was allowed to observe a master execute a technique exactly 3 times. On the 4th opportunity, he was required to execute, not perform. Execute, under real conditions, with real consequence. Not because 3 observations were sufficient, but because the master understood that a 4th observation would make the student feel more prepared while making him less capable. The comfort of watching destroys the will to act. 3 observations. Then the blade. How many observations have you taken before your blade? Draw the blade now. You came to this video as a library of intentions that have never walked out of the building, of plans that have never touched the ground, of philosophies that have never been tested under pressure. You know the system now. SHUHARI tells you, submit to repetition before you earn the right to critique. ZANSHIN tells you, the lesson does not end when the reading ends. KANCHO tells you, subtract everything until one decisive action remains. The modern world will continue to offer you the feeling of progress without its cost. Infinite books, infinite courses, infinite frameworks, infinite reasons to remain in preparation. The Shinobi chose the opposite world, a world with no excess information, only what was needed, only the mission, only the execution, only the return. There is a final image from Shinobi tradition that carries the entire weight of this lesson. It is the image of a footprint in the snow. Not the Shinobi's footprint, the deliberate singular print he left for a specific purpose. And nothing else. No trail, no waste, no unnecessary mark. The Shinobi passed through the world with total precision. He touched only what needed to be touched. He moved only when movement was necessary. He acted only when action was the only answer left after everything else had been eliminated. That footprint is your mandate. One deliberate print, not a trail of highlights and annotations and saved videos. One action, completed. Today, not tomorrow, not after the next book, not after you feel ready. The Shinobi never felt ready. Readiness was not the condition for action. Readiness was the result of it. You are a library of unexecuted data. The Shinobi was a single sentence, written in the world, not on a page. Choose which one you will be. The way is not found in the reading. The way is found in the walking. Walk, leave one footprint. Now, every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. Which one are you? Comment below.